Hi, I'm Najwa.
And I'm Najmi, and this is the Spread Love Not Hate podcast.
What, you might ask, spread love, not hate is?
Well, Spread Love Not Hate is also known as LNH, is a group formed with the idea of spreading positivity and awareness so that more people understand more in depth regarding mental health disorders and those who experience them.
We basically want to help the public to realize that mental health disorders exist on spectrums that cannot be neatly packed and into specific boxes or categories. In addition to helping those experiencing mental health disorders to have a better understanding of themselves and seek assistance to find out what may help them.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about mental health challenges as a university student, where our special guest, Arif. Arif is a student from Multimedia University. He's a personal friend of mine from the peer counselors group, which help students in university regarding their counseling needs. And Arif, thank you for taking your time to do this. So, would you like to introduce a bit about yourself?
So hey guys, and thank you Najmi for including me within this wonderful podcast. So my name is Muhammad Arif Bin Mohamad Ashwar. That's my full name, but you guys just can call me Arif as a nickname. So I've been in
No.
MMU for say almost 2+ years now. So I started my foundation in 2018, and now I'm currently pursuing bachelor's in strategic communication (FAC), and in my second year.
So, are you planning to further your studies after this, or immediately take up a job?
That is remain to be seen, but most likely I would most likely I would say I'll go after that job first. So for experience, and maybe like a year or 2 years along the line, maybe like continue my study. Hopefully.
Okay. Well, hopefully,
Hopefully.
hopefully,
Nice.
hopefully everything works out. So,
I hope so too.
how has your life been recently? Like outside of university, has everything been fine?
I wouldn't say a-okay, but alhamdulillah, so far everything has been fine. I'm doing my internship currently for this semester. Not gonna lie, internship has been some ups and downs for me. There are some challenges and trials to overcome, but like any other people, like in my course mainly, we have to strive and like go through it with open arms with those challenges because, as they say, it'll make me a stronger person. It'll make everyone, gain more knowledge and more insights. And so it'll gain us more, how do you say, experience along the way, and it could be beneficial, since I have one more year left in MMU after my intern.
Yeah.
So maybe I could apply those knowledge from what I gained from internship to, how do you say, implement it in my final year.
What do they actually do for internship? That I'm like so scared for internship. What do
Oh,
you
for
do for
internship.
internship? Like, what do they
Well,
teach
for
you?
me, based on my experience, what we usually do is there's filing. I don't know because this is from an FAC point of view. Like I'm not sure about STM, but for me, what I did was I did filing. I did some Google Word, Google Docs, and spreadsheet type of work. But outside from that, there are also exposures when I need to travel back and forth between IAC Rawang and IAC Nilai to like do some quotations and like manage my time and manage my how do you say, manage their place basically. So like recording videos, doing presentations. I need to do slides for them. So that's why like it gives me a lot of experience per se, and it gives me despite me making a lot of mistakes, I'm not gonna lie, I did tons of mistakes. But in spite of all of that, it, how do you say, it learn apa macam belajar daripada kesilapan lah, as they say in DM. You learn from your mistakes and you move on. So it's itchy peachy, but yeah, like it's a lot to take in at the same time. But hopefully again, I'll get there.
So, has like this whole experience been a little bit too overwhelming with COVID-19 or everything, or is there like some way you've been handling it all?
It depends on the situation. To me, if you guys want my honest opinion, it is a mixed bag. to be honest, because like truth to be told, I like working in the office rather than working from home. Because if you guys want to know me better, I am second out of five of my siblings, and I have
It's
my
a hectic home.
exactly. So and thus, I have like my mom's a housewife, and I need to help around the house. I have an older brother, a younger sibling, which is a younger brother, and two younger sisters. So the middle child is a struggle, being the middle child.
Praise you guys.
Sorry.
I praise for middle child.
Yeah.
They're somehow different. They're very independent
Hmm?
than the first child. Because I'm a first child and I'm so not independent at all. I need like a
I
lot of
mean,
things.
depends lah. Depends dekat the family itself lah. Like so far, my family is okay juga lah. Okay, no apa, nothing apa bad ke apa. So it's
Uh,
good. Oh yeah, back to the question just now, right? So back to my story. How do you say? Yeah, despite the challenges that I faced, despite having a big family, yeah, the concentration level when it comes to working from home to me is a slight minimal. But when it comes to like working with office, like hey, I get to see my workmate, and then like my supervisor is always watching me 24/7. It's like okay, they're they're keeping an eye on me so I can get to do my work efficiently. It's about like when you're working from home, yeah, like some of us like scared, like same with online classes, we take things for granted, some like most of the students will like just basically off their mics, off their screens, listening to the lecture or just like goes off along the way. So
Yeah.
yeah, like to me, I prefer working in an office environment rather than home. But with that being said, in spite of the challenges, like long story short, I find ways to adapt. So like because that work-life balance is important for each of us, and we cannot like how do you say neglect our well-being. Like if you have something that you like to do off work, just do it. Like and you can do it fully like take a few minutes, a few short times as your personal break. So I think to me that works fine.
I've heard from like a lot of people where when
Mm-hmm.
they try to mediate their mental health, especially as university student, it comes
Mm-hmm.
to getting like in the what do they call it? Having a place to fall back to, whether it's family or friends, somebody you can vent to, a group of people or an individual. So like, is that a way that you yourself use to help yourself during times of need, or do you have like other ways?
To me, because we don't want our emotions to get cooped up, because like
Mm.
as they say in pepatah Melayu, jangan pendam, otherwise it's going to eat you up inside. So of course I found ways to like communicate with my friends because and communicate with my family because like sometimes just to be told like if my all of my MMU friends are busy, like I go for the second options, either like to vent out to my school friends, or different circles I met along the way in my life, or like basically to my trusted ones, like my mom and my younger brother. Like yeah, I'll basically just just vent to them and just like say like how's your day at work, am I okay or anything, because sometimes I don't know if it's just me because like some most of my days have been kind of sad lately. Like I don't know if it's depression or not, but if I am sad, if I do feel like something is bothering me, like be it physically or mentally, like I always open up to someone because at times I do feel like my parents are also busy because they have my other siblings to deal with. So that's why I always refer to my friends the most of the time because I don't want to like like you have that sense of apa rasa bersalah or that guilt trip. You have
Oh,
you
that
yeah,
guilt
feel
trip
like
you feel,
understandable.
yeah.
yeah, like you don't want to bother like your mom and dad, so you just vent out to your school friends or my uni friends. Like I do have my MMU friends, but they're even then they are busy with capstone right now and intern right now, so I can't really bother them that much. So I'm in a tight corner to say the least. But I'll manage. I'll try to get out there. Maybe I can vent out to you guys. Like so, I don't know.
You can vent out
I
for the
will,
session.
we're always here.
We're
It's
always
okay.
here.
Hey, thanks. Like maybe like once MMU fully opens, I can meet up. You guys will like do you have a coffee at SCM Cafe? Is SCM Cafe still open? Like I haven't checked in a while.
SM's
I
cafe
don't
when
think so. FCM Cafe is not open anymore.
no, it moved
It's
Oh,
only
to next to the
Dean's.
bakery.
oh, it moved. Oh, it
No,
moved
that's
to
Haji
near
Tapa, right?
where.
Really?
That is
Oh, it moved
SCM's
to.
cafe.
So
Oh,
wait, it moved
really?
to
Oh,
Yeah.
where Delicious was.
They changed it.
ah, yeah. Oh,
It's
Oh, okay,
there.
okay.
Butler. Okay.
Me and my
Entah, you guys need to show
friends
me the
went there.
ropes. You guys need to show me the ropes again.
Of, mesti start balik.
Back to the drawing board. Tapi I remember the layout and the environment, so I'm all good je. Okay je.
But it's so empty there right now. I'm somehow staying there for a short while, so it's empty. Kind of boring. Anyways.
Yeah, the hostel is pretty empty right now because only a few people came back.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be full because like I was like because my plan was like after intern like can they implement like condition like CMC or like KTB and like I was thinking of going back to a hostel like register back for hostel because like hostel life was the best for me back then. I really enjoy hostel life.
Maybe next semester it'll be full again lah. I think it's only this semester.
I mean, depending on the number of cases, because like from my observation.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's not going down.
Like,
unfortunately.
I pray to each day. Please, please, please go down.
So like your experience with these things, what do you think the major contributing factors that triggers it? Like
that triggers my sadness?
Yeah, what triggers it though?
Well, I think if I were to be completely honest, because I don't know, I'm just being open book right now with you guys. Tak apa kan?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so like I think my main factor of like I don't know if it's just me or the environment or MCO or anything, but maybe it's the environment and the MCO playing a part. But I think it's because I couldn't like accept criticism from people. Like maybe it's just me, but I'm being more self-aware of myself. Like I've been doing some self-reflecting, finding what ways that I can improve, like from my emotional EQ point of view, like what can I do? Because like I learned from Miss Wong as well, because she teach me psychology and stress and well-being. What else he teach? Yeah, that's all I can remember. Just these two subjects. So like yeah, for the stress and well-being thing, like I haven't like use it to my fullest potential yet. And then for psychology pun dah like to me it was like ingat-ingat lupa because it was a long time ago, like the few semester back. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I'm trying to like revise balik. Like even before this, like going into this Google Meet and I did my last minute research during the past half and 1 hour. Pasal mental health semua, like tengok like what is this? Oh, I can use this or I can use this. Tengok like satu benda tak masuk kot. So I was like, never mind. So like just being spontaneous. I think going back to your question, Teddy, the main contribution regarding my sadness, I think is because I couldn't handle criticism that much. I'm being aware now, and like I need to like face the harsh truth because despite what my older brother said, which has some pointers to take from, is that we can't sugarcoat what's our flaws now. Like we can't sugarcoat. Like for example, like I can draw. Like I draw, well not the same masterpiece. Like I draw a piece of art, and that art, is subjective. Like it may seem okay to you guys, but to some others mungkin macam like the outline is too much. Apa contoh and then I couldn't take that criticism. Like, and I start to rebel again. Like it's basically denial. Like no, maybe like this one is already perfect. I've done this to the best of my knowledge. Maybe it's already perfect. So maybe that's just me, So that's one of my main contributors. And another factor is mungkin like personal problems and family problems. Heck, even like toxic friends punya problems juga like I have those toxic friends but I already get rid of them. Those mungkin like my uni friends haven't contacted me in a while. That also plays a contribution factor. So at one point I was really I would say I self-diagnosed myself with depression at one time. Like I couldn't sleep. Like it's been affecting my work and like it tore me and I cried on my own time. But it was a lot to take in. But eventually I healed in my own ways. I'm still healing, but it's not as 100% as it was before. So I'm still like stepping up, trying to do better.
I think that's a lot of great steps you've taken, especially like the self-awareness part. I feel like that's very heavy for a lot of people to come to terms with. So I think in my opinion, I'd say that you're doing great, and I hope you'll do better. You'll be better. So inshallah. So I think it's pretty impressive. So I think it's good. So like, I just wanted to ask, like, when it comes to like self-awareness, when you've come to terms with maybe you don't take criticism well, and then you should be better from that, and there comes a point where you said you self-diagnose yourself, right? So I just wanted to ask, like, how hard was it to come to terms that was there any sort of inner conflict where like you wanted to deny that quote unquote truth?
To be honest, like at first, I was in denial at first because like I thought everything I do in this household was like pinnacle or top perfect. Though. But then when I start to like listen to my friends' advice as well, because my friends been asking like, hey Arif, have you been doing some self reflect lately? Maybe you can reassess the situation, like what went wrong here. Why are you like this at times? And I think if you know me from the very beginning, like my parents does, sometimes I have anger management issues as well. Like if I'm pushed to that stress limit or to that stress point, but I don't show it here, of course not. But I do have that anger. I do have that anger management issues because like I may be Bruce Banner right now, but maybe off screen I'll be the Hulk or something. So just keep in mind. So about that self-diagnosed part, maybe it's just my insecurities, to say the least. Like insecurities, like comes and goes to me at times because, like, when I suffer insecurities, I tend to like judge myself. You know, like why am I like this? Why can't I I usually overthink. Like even my friends says, don't overthink. Like I usually overthink. Why am I like this? Why can't I like follow a simple advice? Why can I do a great task and like do it along the way? And to be honest, like online class, I suffer that as well because I have group mate criticizing me like you calling yourself a leader, but you cannot even do a small or a great task that we've given to you. So that to me, it hit me hard one time, and to the extent like I was like really tali, like I couldn't focus on what I can focus. You know, like since I was taking 6 subjects back then, like just because of that one subject, the rest 5 subjects gone haywire. I mean, not totally haywire, but there are some missteps here and there to the extent like it affects me for my November semester, you know? So yeah, like it was my July semester because like the pandemic started around March, I think, like around March last year. So online class for short sem was all right. And then becomes the long sem, my July sem. Yeah, that's when things just started to spiral out of control. And then the November sem, even worse. And now I'm here, internship. So like, it's taking a breather, like letting the waters cool down, like letting the waters like sudo, as they say, like let it be for now, and let everyone do their intern. Like sebab semua like have their own allergy, you know. Like some of us is going for our short sem, but majority of us is going for intern. So it's a new experience for us to take in and to self-reflect to improve. But even then, I screw up during intern, so I can't say much for myself juga. So in a way, boleh like step by step.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from like just being like, as cliche as it sounds, it's like being positive to yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to do that. It's not as like you wake up and like, yeah, I'm gonna be happy. It's not easy.
It'll
But
be a whole different story if you suddenly wake up.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole different story if you suddenly like wake up like, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah,
exactly. Like it'll be a whole different story.
When it comes to waking up, like sometimes I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm only excited for the weekends now. I'm only excited for Friday night. I'm only excited for Friday night, Saturday, Sunday night tu macam dah.
No. No. You just want to like stop the watch.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like because you know all of us like face this thing called Monday blues, you know, and sometimes Tuesday blues to that extent. But to me, I was just like, oh, jangan layan. Like to me, inside my head, I always think to myself, oh, there's these blues. Like because we already know what we're expecting. We're expecting those blues, so then like, oh, okay, those blues is coming in. Like it's gonna be there. Tapi I try not to overthink much, jangan layan sangat. So. To me, it's like just adapt, just go with the flow. And the most important thing, if you guys are going for internship one day, because some of you dah tu or belum tu macam mana?
No, both of us haven't yet. We're going to in the future.
Okay, so my advice is just be yourself, and if you unintentionally make those mistakes, just learn from it and don't repeat them. Because to me, I still make those repeating mistakes, and I wouldn't say kena tegur lah, tapi tegur virtually, because the weird thing about my supervisor, she would like tegur me virtually, tapi to the extent I feel like her tone was rising, tapi when it comes to face, dia macam, oh okay, he's cool with me. So that's why I like going to the office. Tapi overall, like, internship is okay lah. Oh, and the weekly log, don't forget to update that. Like, if you, for, I don't know for FCM, but for FAC we have this thing called weekly log, and this weekly log I need to update it for this week.
Oh yeah, we have that
updated.
too.
Yeah, so it's like, to me it's a hassle of like, can this thing be a monthly thing?
How,
Ataupun like a daily thing.
when do you actually try, like, tulis all of that? When do you actually have the time?
Well, to me, it depends, because sometimes I would do it, day by day, daily, for this day. Tapi as the week goes by, I was like, I should update this at least before Sunday night, at least before Monday, so that everything is planned and checked out. So yeah, that's one of the
always tell yourself.
yeah,
at
like
least
Sunday
before.
night. Tak, to the extent, I think Sunday night too. That Sunday night, that's more like, just like, I think to that one point I just bullshit what I what I did.
just fill it up.
Yeah, just fill it out. Atau kan ada. But yeah,
Alright.
padahal
Well, we're going to edit this out, so the lectures don't.
Tak apa. Tak, think of this as a filler, as a gentle filler.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting back on track. So I think that hopefully answers your question now, like, on why am I like this and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it does. It helps, because I think like a lot of people, like especially like the more how do you say this? The more reserved ones, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they usually they find it hard to try to come to terms and be self-aware, and that's why I feel like you're taking great strides. And like a lot of them probably have a lot of them probably are like, they think like maybe they should be a little bit more self-aware, but they need that extra push. And like I think sometimes maybe they can stumble upon this podcast and then they hear you and they're like, maybe you start thinking, that's hopefully.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, like what Najmi said, because like some reserved people, they just build it all up until like they start feeling numb, and like they become like this. What's that word? Like they're gone. They're not so sure what to do anymore, and like they have that starts to develop more problems for them because they keep on keeping it to themselves. So I find that really sad and kind, like hopefully, like Najmi said, they come to see this podcast and learn that they're not alone. And I think reserved people, they don't really want to try to like come to forward for in front of people. Have they would try to like deal it with themselves because they have like this thing where it's their problem. They have to try and figure it out for themselves.
yeah, I still want to highlight that point, because like, to me, I can be preserving too at times, because say if I want to vent out my problems, or because I feel too overwhelmed, I cannot just like let out on social media or any type of social platform, because it will be unhealthy. That's what my other friend advised, my MMU friend. He advised me that if you're releasing it this way, it will be unhealthy. So the best thing I can do is, well, either like talk it through like with you guys right now, or a face-to-face conversation, ataupun like just chat on WhatsApp, or get like, hey, I don't feel too good, I need some help, could you help me out and stuff. So and then the conversation just goes on in that chat. But at times I feel like I don't know, I just don't want to be a bothersome, a nuisance, because like sure you're having troubles, and then like I have this sort of dilemma where if I do have this sadness within me, or this, when I feel unhappy, or feeling um, down in a rut, or have this anxiety or so, when I want to like release it on someone, like I can't just spam, because like for example, if I message you, for example, like message Najwa, for example, like say I say, hey Najwa, I don't feel good. I just had an awful day at work. I screwed up a lot of things. Can you help me out? And those were all in text. And then you say I will get back to me because like you're busy at the moment. So yeah, you can see how it goes. Like I don't want to like disturb any one of you guys. So that's why at times I am honest with myself. Like I do like preserve and pendam. So to the extent where I find other ways to distract myself, and yeah, like just yeah, I am preserving.
We just like try to ignore it and sampai don't know actually when for that.
At times pun like I ignore it to the extent I'll just just fell asleep, like just tidur pun, and yeah, tidur pun
Yeah.
tidur tak cukup lah. Like just like there's just one time, say for example like after this podcast, or yeah lah, like one time like I slept around 11 or 12 at night. All of a sudden I woke up around 2, and then when I sleep again I woke up around 3:30, and this was before this was before fasting one. Then I wake up, oh dah subuh dah. So just like it's really unhealthy. So imagine that routine, but apply in bulan Ramadan. So that's what I've been facing juga at times. So like like bangun dah pukul 5. So it's like, oh, might as well just sahur siap-siap, So
Kind of difficult lah.
it is difficult lah. So that's why I kind of like focus on how to fix my sleeping clock and my sleeping routine, because I'm gonna be straightforward with you guys. Both my older brother and my younger brother are all night owls. I'm only the normal bird around here. So when I'm asleep, they're awake, like either like doing work or gaming, because like because for office hours kind 9 to 5, and I need to follow a strict schedule. Problem is they don't have a strict schedule they need to follow. I do, because I'm in internship, and also so yeah, the challenges is there. That's why I like working in the office, because well, number one, less distraction, and then you can keep on track again. So when it comes to like online class or work from home, you take things for granted easily, and I can feel myself take things for granted, because I have a PS4 in front of me. So
yeah, I feel like when working at the office, or like for me personally, like when I go to classes or when I live in campus, it's more easier to track down time, because there's like many visual signs around you. Like for example, if you're in campus in class, it's always
you have
like
to walk around
the
back and forth.
lecturer saying the class. Yeah, you have to walk around back and forth. The lecturer will say class ends, you have to go out of the class, and then there's a specific lunchtime. Everything seems to be neatly put into like time schedules, even if your schedule isn't packed. But because of how life is at the office or at university, it feels like there's a schedule that is invisibly put on you. So your brain just sort of helps you keep track of time. But at home, that invisible schedule just disappears.
It's all gone because
And
you're
then
in a different place.
your
You're
brain
in a
goes
different
crazy.
place.
Like it's like, how when am I supposed to eat?
Exactly.
When am I supposed to do work? Yeah, so that's me, and I feel like a lot of people are like that too. And it's really hard to just study at home because of that.
Yes.
And like another thing I wanted to ask was because you talked about like using apa tu, seeking help from your friends, your parents to vent, your siblings to vent, and like wanted to ask, like, personally, has there been any moment or like you really wanted to vent, right? And then you did vent, and then after you stopped venting, you started feeling like guilty. Maybe you wasted that time, or have you ever felt that?
To me, I rarely felt that. I mean, kalau you pun, I think just one or two times. But tapi once you vent, you have this self realization, macam you have this self feeling bila dah rasa you feel calm, like the waters are not
you let everything out, right? It feels nice.
It feels nice, and you feel like you already get this thing off your chest. But at the same time, sebab I don't know if it's my past tragic story ke apa, sebab like it depends on people who I'm venting out. Like I vent to some of my former friends back then. I say former sebab jangan toxic semua gila, and long story short, so I vented to them and then said, oh Arif, you can't play self victim, because like if you're playing the victim at times you are the toxic person, so that's why I'm trying to prevent myself from being a toxic person tau. Sebab takut you vent and then they feel uncomfortable with it and you always play the victim 24/7. Like I don't want
Yeah,
that, so that's why I'm in a dilemma until now. Like, should I vent ke tak? Nak vent ke tak? Like, nak keep it to myself
yeah,
panjang lama lagi
exactly.
ke tak? So,
I feel like that mentality of like your indecisiveness to try to vent or try to ask for help, it all comes down from like your past experiences. So I feel like, because I've heard this from a friend, he said like he normally doesn't like venting because he feels guilty, and that's why I was asking. And then I feel like, yeah, that's the same story I feel like could be applied to him and other people. It's like it's not that they shouldn't vent, they should definitely vent, but probably because they used to have like you said, toxic friends that tell them that they're the victim. So you have this mentality that a lot of people held, that I don't want to play the victim, so I don't want to vent. But the thing is, venting is very healthy. If you have like people that tell you that you're the victim, then as nice as they are, even if they're your friends or anything, they're still in the wrong in that situation. You're not the victim. You need to,
like find a middle page,
release your emotions. Yeah, exactly.
like
Find the middle ground.
like so that everyone can be on the same page. Like everyone has their struggles in life, and because for what I understand, like even if chatting with my older brother, like we all go through struggles his life. His struggle is different. My struggle is different. My younger brother has depression, which I understand. His struggle is different. So to me, we need to like come to that one midpoint where we can understand each other. Like, I feel your pain, and then like
Yes.
don't derail the conversation. Just like oh, you have this like let me understand you more. Not say by saying that I have this
Yeah.
struggle too, but much worse. Like for example, like it's to put it in a simple way, like someone shot you in the foot, and then and then you complain, oh, your foot is hurting, oh, like this is the worst experience I have ever lasted in my life, and then all of a sudden, like, but that person has also faced but say he he faced a different struggle because he has been stabbed in the back one too many times, but he hasn't been shot in the foot before, but he has been stabbed a lot in the back, like hundreds or thousands of times before. So of course, like you guys can understand your struggles because both of your pains are different, right? So that's why, like, share your experience, like, why, how did it happen? Like, how did you get stabbed in the back like 1,000 times? Or like, how did it happen? And vice versa, like, how do you get shot in the foot? So that's why we need to understand each other most of the times. And I feel like we need to raise more awareness on that because not, to me, in my personal opinion, like, at this point of time, not everyone is aware of that yet. So that's my 2 cents about it.
I agree with that. It's like you should never shut other people down, right? Like you should always try to reach that middle ground, and like you don't tell them that they're victimizing themselves, even though you're experiencing your own dilemma. Instead, you listen to them, and then in turn they'll listen to you, and then you'll reach a middle point where you can help each other out. And that's a sort of thing, like you said, an awareness that people nowadays need to realize that even though someone has suffered more, like quote unquote more, but at the end of the day, each people has their unique struggles. So no matter how much you struggle, you can still listen to other people's struggles, and they can help you, and you can help them, and then we can understand each other and help each other instead of determining who's struggling more. I think the goal is to find out ways where we can both not struggle. Like that's the simplification of it.
Betul.
There's also like I don't know if it's just me. Whenever like I try to vent out to some of my friends or something, I would feel like they would say like, "Oh, ngada, like
Yes,
small problems only. You should have figured this out by yourself. Why you complaining?" And like I'm venting. I need it. Like some people they say like, "Oh, like I don't know what is. I'm not so sure what ngada is in English, but they would have this saying like, "Oh, you're ngada."
like
I
exaggerating, I
think
think.
mengada in English is like exaggerating. Yeah, I think that's mengada in
Yeah.
English.
You're exaggerating.
Yeah, that's in my opinion, that's wrong, because at the end of the day, like, everybody has their own struggles, right? So like, there's you can never really, quote unquote, exaggerate or mengada, because even as small, quote unquote, small your problem is, at the end of the day, your goal is to stop that problem from happening or try to find a solution. So when you express that situation to others, you're not mengada, you're asking for help, and I think they should help. Like me personally, I had a friend who relatively small problem, but I didn't shut him down, because that's not what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to listen to them. Yeah, and like, are you sure that that's a small problem? Because sometimes people, when they explain problems to you, they only share like 10%, right? 10 to 20%. So to you, you feel like they're over exaggerating their problem, but to them, they're experiencing a whole dilemma, but they just don't share everything with you. So you can't
Yeah,
just tell them that,
betul, betul.
Yeah.
Because like I have a story on that actually, and I hope this
yeah,
stays in the QT. Like I hope, because I don't want to say the person's names about the now buka aib that much. So
yeah,
basically, it all happens during memang betul-betul last semester, and we were doing this thing called job. Actually, not this. We were doing this subject called promotional writing. Is me and him were in the same group. So like he was in an immense amount of pressure back then, and like I was trying to help him out. Like I helped him out in a way that just like, because he's the group leader and I was an assistant, like I did my part, and then he said to me that oh, I'm doing my work half baked. Can you please improve yourself next time? Do ask for help, do your research and everything. Same thing with here. And then there's this one point where like I was free during the time. Like I completed most of the deadlines before the next assignment, before the next wave of the assignments came in. And he vented out to me, and I think he was crying on the phone lah. Like he was venting out, oh Arif, I'm sorry if I do anything harsh to you. I'm sorry if I called you half baked doing half baked assignment. To be honest, ever since my PC lags and have been invaded by this ransomware. I seriously need help. Can you comfort me? And that's why I started to comfort him. Like I asked him to take a deep breath because he was hyperventilating during the time, and his mind wasn't straight because of what happened to his PC. Because like his PC got invaded by a ransomware, and like most of his files for assignment is corrupted. So like, and I said to him, maybe you can explain the lecturers so that most of your files can be recovered, and maybe your editing software and your videos can have a new editing software so that it can work again and stuff. So to me, it was like for the first time ever, like a nerve-wracking short like online class is able to like break someone, and it break me too. To be honest, it break most of us. Like ever since online class started implementing in FAC, like the whole landscape to me has changed. Like you have this person who are like used to be close friends now aren't friends anymore, for example. So yeah, to me to me it's a different experience, like not to buka egg or anything, just
yeah.
from my observation. So like
It's like, yeah, the unique experiences of everybody is so definitely valid. Right?
mhm. So yeah, I think I answered most of you guys' my questions. I hope I'm not going off the rails here.
No, it's
But that,
fine. It's just a casual session. We want to ask you about your experience and whatnot. And these are a lot of things that even I'm learning, and I'm relating to, and then it's
mhm,
comforting me a lot. And I hope it's comforting Najwa too. So I think this
mhm.
can definitely help any of our listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because like I had this conversation with my older brother as well, and the two main points I take away, I would like say, like not to say apa keluar tinggal kanan masuk telinga kanan keluar tinggal kiri. No, I would never do that to anyone. But I think one thing to take away from his advice is that the thing that I carry the most, those two things right now is that number one, like nothing in life comes ever easy, because yes, we're living in this earth. Like in an Islamic point of view, we're all humans. This isn't heaven or hell. Number one, like just move on. Like if you screw up or anything, just try to do better and move on and help the people the best you can. And number two is that don't sugarcoat. Like you have those flaws, yes, explain those flaws. But here's where I come in. Explain those flaws in a good tone, mood, and manner, and you don't condescend things. Macam like, for example, in condescending in BM form, aduh, apa, alah, ni benda senang, apa, Jepun, alah, apa, like 2 plus 2 is easy as 4, takkan tu pun tak tahu kot. No, you don't do that to someone with mental health. You don't do that. Instead, you can say this. Oh, okay, so you don't know what 2 plus 2 is. Let me show you the way. 2 plus 2, and also you can have this different method. Does that help? That's how you explain it to me, just from my opinion. So yeah, I think that's about it from my side of things. So like maybe I would like to hear you guys juga. Like what are your experience juga?
I think like the main idea from this was the fact that because it's generally speaking, university is a hell of a baggage, for especially mentally, but especially now with COVID-19 and being stuck at home, and even the people that can go to campus, like me and Najwa always went to campus temporarily, but I'm currently staying at campus. I just went home for the holidays. I'll be back at campus a few days from now. So even now, as I'm staying at campus, COVID-19 still has like a really big impact for my schedule and my lifestyle, because we still have online classes and whatnot. So especially now, mental health issues has been exacerbated, as some would say, because even if you're someone who's generally a outgoing, happy person who wouldn't even think about, experiencing mental health issues, because of the situation now, it's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult to not have some sort of dilemma and whatnot. So even for the happy people, the usually happy people that are experiencing problems now, it's much more bigger challenge to people that already have mental health disorders, that are already diagnosed, or the people who are self-aware and have self-diagnosed, or the people who genuinely aren't aware, but they're starting to experience it now, like have a more physical manifestation of the mental health issues. So with all that in mind, I think it's much more important now to take into the advice that, like, if you have problems, you need to seek help, whether that be venting to your parents, venting to your friends, or going the professional level and seeking counselors. Like even though it's a scary thing, it's generally a very taboo thing, or you've grown up having toxic friends that tell you that your problems are minuscule and you jangan ngada-ngada lah and all that. It's like you put that aside, and you really need to just push yourself to, even if you don't think you have any mental health issues, there's no harm in trying to vent your problems or getting help from professionals. So the main takeaway, I think, is the idea that we should be more aware, whether it's us or the people around us, regarding mental health, and then we should actually try to seek help or provide help, and just push all the taboos aside, especially in this day and era.
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially
because
this era that.
because like you want to say something?
That's okay. Go first. You're the guest.
Okay, so because like I want to share a story. Basically, when I was like back in my high school days, from Form 1 until Form 5, I was, truth to be told, I did have a few sadness here and there, because like I was a newbie, number one. In Form 1, I was a freshman, and none of my primary school friends that I know from Standard 6 go to Form 1. Like I'm literally the only one from PJ, because I had to move houses back then. So because my family had to move houses, I was the only one from the PJ school, Taling Jaya, go all the way to Shah Alam. So I was like the only person from PJ to go to a Shah Alam school, and I was like, I met a whole different people. It's like a whole different, a new environment to me within that world. So I was like, and then like there were like a few people who always called me, oh, he's an outsider, he's not from Shah Alam, he was from a different place else, which is like a minor thing, mind you. And then like it got me sad, but alhamdulillah, I made a lot of friends along the way, to the extent like I even went to that one friend that I kept in contact until now. So, but the taboo arises when I want to see a counselor, and then like the friends that I used to know like say, oh, Arif, you can't go to the counseling. The counseling is for the weak. Like people don't go there. Like nobody goes there. Like, I was like, dude, I need help back then. So, and then to the point where I was at a breaking point where I just straight up cried at one point. I straight up cried at one point. I go see my mom, like my best resort, because like I know I may be a mama's boy because like my dad was strict back then.
Hey, that's totally fine.
He's still strict.
Me too.
He's still strict now. So like I go to see my mom, so I vent out my mom's problems like, oh, I cannot. It's a whole different environment to me. Like most of those school kids treat me differently just because I'm from a different school and not from any Shah Alam school. I was like, I feel left out. Or why are they treating me this way? I'm trying to be myself, trying to be hyperactive. And then my mom gave me advice because, well, the stereotype is still there now. And then, alhamdulillah, like to this day, it got better. So like, I wasn't happy, but I did make the best out of my school days. So once I finished school, it's a whole different story. But long story short, my school days, I did make the best out of it, and I kind of changed my life in a way. Like I become more observant, more understanding, and yeah. Fast forward now, MMU. Because seriously, like after high school life and before MMU life, that's like I was in that one of those, how do you say, those dark ages years of time. So it was a whole long story for me. Like I think we need to like skip this podcast and I'll need to tell you guys during time bila kita lepak dekat Dean's or FTM one day. So one day like since I have 1 year left, mungkin, and I hope within that 1 year the COVID cases went down. So I think boleh like we could save the story for another time.
That's a dream.
Hopefully,
yeah. This pandemic has really messed up a lot of people's punya mental health. But I remember masa first lockdown tu okay kan? Remember how the first lockdown was? Everything you felt was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Everyone happy.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Like, this is gonna be
2
fun.
weeks. They all no
let's
school.
make the best out of it.
Yeah, everyone was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. And then as soon as it continues, extend, and you're there like, okay, I want to get out. And then it starts messing with you, and you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Mhm.
And then as it extended, online classes started. And then you had to start juggling with macam housework and your schoolwork, your uni works and all.
Mm.
So for me personally, that time kan, juggling with both things, I was like, oh, okay, a lot of stay up masa tu. And then as for SEM almost ending, where all the workload started to stack up, I started to feel so down. Sure, I was like, okay. So I would just like vent out to my mom lah, saying like, I don't feel good anymore and I cannot do this. So what my mom would always tell me, she's like, take a day off for yourself. Don't think about your work. Just take a day off for yourself. And then when you feel like you're ready, then you can continue working or you can vent out to anyone, go out, just go crazy for that one or like 2-3 days. Just go crazy for yourself. Which I did, kind of not regretting that. But at least for me it was my way of coping during the whole lockdown pandemic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did for last semester, because last semester was too demanding, 100% coursework, no finals, mind you. The test was also in a short period of time, and it was so overwhelming to me, and sometimes it even like cluttered my mind. And like not to reach that breaking point, like what my friend did was, I just like even my mom advised me like take most of the time off just for today, do the things that you love, go out, obey SOP, of course. Just go out and get some fresh air. Maybe go jogging here and there. And like beli makan-makan ke apa back then. And to me it worked. Yeah, it worked. I feel like 10 times better. Like my energy is like rejuvenated. And I get to macam like sambung buat kerja. Like of course I'm not going to settle the entire wave of assignments all in one night. No. But it helped me like settle like bit by bit, one by one. And that one by one, tengok macam like only one assignment left. So it does help in a way.
Yeah.
And I should thank my mom for that advice. Like I haven't get the chance to thank my mom up until now.
Okay, other than like like uni always gives you like counseling guide. Do
Mm-hmm.
you other than that kind of therapy, what else do you actually have though? Other than like
Aside
one day stressed
from
out.
like if I were to stress out, like I would do things yes that I like, and then venting. I don't know. I can't think much at the moment, but I would say that um if you have something to vent, just vent it out to your friends, family, your loved ones.
Mm,
And then the other thing is do something that you love. Well, to me, if I'm too overwhelmed or too stressed out, I would play video games. One, because I have a PS4 right now, I would play video games. I would sometimes read my favorite manga, comics, or even novels. That's
mm,
just me. And then, like, I would say what anime or movies do you like any form of entertainment that helps me like clear my mind or anything that I like or interest.
mm.
And like just to put it out there, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know if MMU has this stereotype, but I don't know, it's just me. Like, I just want to vent out. Tak apa kan? Tak apa kan? Like, okay, so like they view of people in FAC seeing like watching anime is a bad thing. Like not to say a bad thing, but it's not as highly as respected for like, for example, like I like tons of animes. Like I can list down, I have a whole list of them. I don't want to list it here sebab takut. It's too embarrassing. So like apa bila tengok je, oh this guy watches anime, oh dia mesti tak popular lah, dia mesti tak ni je lah. I was like, dude, come on. I mean, like I'm pretty sure low key you watch anime juga and like so just apa ni like lay off lah. Like there's still stereotypes in FAC like
Mm.
for people who like watching anime ke apa. I can seriously tell like they don't show it but their actions ada like ada. So macam yeah, interesting.
Wait, you
Welcome
have
to
a
MMU.
stereotype saying like people watch anime or like boring people. I say people who watch anime are really cool.
For real.
Uh,
Okay, kita gang. All of us here sini gang.
I say people
Yeah,
who
I
watch anime
mean,
are like really cool
I'm
people.
from. This is like a bit of an alien thing to me because most of my friend groups we all watch anime, and I'm like me and Najwa from FCM, and like everybody there watches anime.
Uh,
So this is a very alien thing. I've never heard of like a group of people condemn anime because I feel like anime is very
Ada.
mainstream, right?
yeah.
Ada, tapi yeah, ada. Apparently ada now. Now I'm exposed to that. Unfortunately,
Ada.
ada.
I mean, tak nak buka aib sesiapa lah, tapi those stereotypes ada lah, like in FAC. So I was like kind of disappointed at first, but as time goes on, just like, tak apalah, apa you do you, man. So tak apa, like just let it slide. But yeah, like back to the point just now, yeah, just do what you love, just be yourself, just do what you love it. If it makes because to me, the most like mistake from myself, like not from everyone else. I think the most mistake in not like jaga my mental health or my well-being pun is like not doing the things that I love because I'm too cooped up with internship work. And like even one of my friends yang tengah intern even gave me advice kalau boleh like during office hours jangan sentuh any of your internship work. Just leave it aside. Like kalau nak work 9 to 5, and then or for bulan puasa punya case 8:30 until 4. 4 onwards tutup, just rest, do anything that you love. Like apa macam talk to friends ke, like apa off topic ke, or what like what I said earlier before, any form of entertainment that I like, baca buku, baca novel, anything, so that you can have a peace or sense of mind, so that you have that work-life balance, as they say. Because like
Yeah.
to me, in my opinion, if you don't implement that now, capstone to me is gonna be even more worse. About capstone, like it's my final year for the whole one semester, and yeah, that's gonna be a lot to take in, and then especially once you've graduated, once we've like start working and stuff. So it's best to like implement those now. And to me, that's one thing I kind of regret now, but I've learned that mistakes now. So I'm going to do what I love starting tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That's very important.
I hope it answers your question though. Like aside from getting counseling therapies and venting, like do something that you love and be yourself. Just be yourself. And another thing, since we're all Muslims,
Yeah.
always remember remember God, remember Allah. Like because pray 5 times a day. Like it doesn't like get rid of those problems straight away, but it will
But it
like
helps.
it help ease out the situation and how you want to handle those problems. Like it showed me, like, it kind of changed my life. And since it's the fasting month, Ramadan month, like it improves me spiritually. Like another point to add on, just do anything that helps you spiritually, that helps you remain calm. That's what I would say.
Even if it's not like a directly religious thing, there's a lot of spiritual things you can do, like meditating, or even like sitting down and calming yourself. And like for us Muslims, prayers are like a really, especially like the 5 times a day prayer. Those are like really helpful when it comes to like clearing the mind. So like from a religious point of view, you could do that, but even from like a non-religious point of view, the idea of spiritual, what do they call it? Like you can take care of your mental health through spiritual means. That sort of concept. So I think it's very helpful.
Doing that time you actually get a moment of like with yourself, and even though it's like a few minutes, you get a moment for yourself. You get to think clearly, and you're like, oh, okay.
That's how I
you get to
Uh-huh.
push everything
Yeah.
else. I really appreciate you coming with us today, and
No problem.
your insights and your perspectives and all your opinions. I think will have helped me personally in this very moment. So I hope they can help like a few other people who come across to listen to this podcast. So thank you, Arif, our guest, for helping us, giving your insights, your opinions, and everything. It's really been helpful, and I think maybe any of our listeners that stumble upon this podcast can take advantage from it. Because like this has been really insightful for me, especially because I've vented a bit through this podcast too with you. So you were really a really fun, casual guest to speak to. So thank you, Arif, for everything, and we hope you have a nice night.
Have a good night to you guys as well. Thank you, Najwa. Thank you, Najmi.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining, Arif. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
As for next week, I and Najmi are going to talk about the spectrums of mental health with another special guest.
Now, without further ado, we would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast about learning about mental health and normalizing this discussion surrounding it, and also the mental health challenges faced by university students. Thank you.
And see you in the next episode.